Hi there everybody, welcome to the channel. So if you're new to the channel, primarily what I do here is talk about pointless things, and I do a lot of reviews of restaurants, primarily fast food. I'm always on the go for my outside sales job. So today I wanted to implement something that I've been wanting to do for a while. A couple of friends of mine, they would do a Facebook Live event probably like 5 years ago, and their event was called Real Geeks, where they would go to the movies, see a new release, and then they would talk about it on Facebook Live. So I wanted to expand that and talk about, primarily if I don't want to get into debt going to the movies all the time, I wanted to talk about movies that are obscure or maybe movies that I like, talk about it. We could do the 1 to 5 rating scale, comment, see what people think about it. And I grew up in a time when VHS was still kind of the popular format. As you can see, I have a lot of DVDs as well now. But a good friend of mine named Jonathan, back in the city of Orange, and I grew up in Orange County, he would always buy whatever format was most affordable just so he could own it and enjoy it. He didn't care if it was the latest and the greatest, and I'm the same way. We both worked at the same thrift shop in like the early 2000s. We were buying records and tapes because they were 50 cents and we didn't care. Everyone had their iPod and they wanted their MP3s and CDs. We were buying whatever's cheapest. So in that same fashion, I went to the thrift shop yesterday, as I do almost every day, and I bought like 16 VHS tapes for $4 of obscure movies that I've never really seen before. So today we are going to be reviewing on VHS. Hang on, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee here before I set it down. I'm gonna hand it to my off-camera person. We're going to be reviewing this movie that says the original silent vampire classic, Nosferatu. It is a German film. Sorry, I have little kids off camera. It is a German film. It is a silent film.
Welcome back to the studio.
Beat it, kid. We're working here. It is a silent movie on VHS. And it is from the Alpha Video Distributors, Inc., 1999. Please adjust tracking control for best picture quality. 1922, 64 minutes long, silent film. And on the back, it says, shush! In I can't even read right now because there's a bright light shining in my eyes. In 1994, Nosferatu was named one of the top 5 German films of all time. This is the first vampire movie to be made. It was freely adapted from Bram Stoker's 1897 novel. Stokers. Sounds sexual. The cadaverous Count Orlok leaves his sinister castle in the Carpathian Mountains in a coffin filled with earth. This is the often told tale of the evil Count from Transylvania. Nosferatu, that name alone can chill the blood. It is believed by some that he brought the plague to Bremen in 1838. Scenes from the actual location help to create the eerie images and the sense of ghostly happenings and fear, and a strange symphony of horror. Directed by Friedrich Wilhelm Murnau, photography by F.A. Wagner. All right, folks, so we're going to watch this, and we're going to pause the camera now, and then I'll come back and we'll rate the movie. So see you in a jiff. I will say this about watching VHS on a modernish television. You want to format your screen to 4:3 so it has the black bars on the side, because if you do it in the 16:9, it just looks awful. This stretches the film. So you want to watch it with the black bar on the left and the right, and that's the proper format for a VHS. That's all I wanted to add at this point. We're not going to film anymore because it's probably copyrighted and we don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so I just finished watching the movie, and again, that's it. It's crazy. I was thinking about it. This movie came out 99 years ago this year, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I will give it a 1 out of 5 on VHS transfer. So
The movie is a silent film, and if you're not into silent films, some people, they're just not into it. You got to get used to it. But for me, I could just tell by like what they're doing in the actions, and then they have descriptive cards that pop up and kind of tell you what's going on for each particular scene. That's enough for me. I enjoy silent films, but usually silent films were played in a theater with like a piano or organ, and they would have that kind of setting the tone of what was going to happen. So whoever did this transfer, it's obviously a 25-year-old VHS transfer. They didn't use a very good scanner because there's a bright spot right in the middle of the copy that I watched. And it's very gritty, a lot of damage to the film. It was 64 minutes long, no soundtrack playing in the background. So then I go on YouTube, and this is very common with silent films that are like 100 years old or from the 1920s. They are so old, no one owns the rights in their public domain. And I found a remastered copy, and someone had redid it completely, very good scan, had a soundtrack that was appropriate. And the YouTube one was an hour and 28 minutes versus the 64 minutes of the tape that I watched. So I'm going to put the descriptive in the link below. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 because for 1922 with a hand crank camera and very limited technology, the movie's supposed to take place in like Germany in the 1830s. The costumes, everything was so correct. It just looked so quality. The villain was like hokey, but he was really terrifying for a movie that's 99 years old with no real violent imagery. It just was like a suspenseful film. And even more suspenseful when I watched the YouTube version where they had like a soundtrack and it wasn't horrible quality. They did a good scan job and they cleaned up the film stock. And it was longer. There was some scenes in the YouTube version that I'll post in the description below that weren't in the VHS copy that I found at the thrift shop yesterday. So I'd love for you guys to check it out. If you're into silent film or you like vampire movies or horror movies, it's worth checking out. 5 out of 5, like I said, that's my review. And I'm interested in the comments below to see what you guys think of it if you end up watching the length of the video that I watched. So we'll see you next time, folks, on Corey's Video Corner. Don't make fun of it. I just came up with it right now, and I'm kind of pushed into a corner of a brick wall and a bookshelf, so it made sense. Talk to you later.